I hear all these artists talking about the trenches, but they don't know that when it was time to fight, a lot of people would stay behind and stay in the trenches, refuse to go out just because they were scared. No man's land is where all the action takes place, like in between the trenches of you and opposition. So when I got this beat, I listened to it at my manager's house, and then I was like, I'm gonna save it for when I go to LA because it was a West Coast beat. Another artist, I fuck with Lil TJ. He was telling me like, cause he had recorded one of his biggest songs in LA, Brothers. So he was like, oh, you're gonna make a hit in LA. So yeah, I just saved it till I went to LA, and I would listen to it on the plane, and that's when I wrote just the line, play the block, repeat. That's all young nigga learn from the streets. And then I freestyle everything else in the studio. While I was recording the actual video, the second verse was just blank. When we got to the studio, like literally while they're recording, I'm actually singing. So in a way, if you see it, it looks quite authentic. That's because it is. I was creating the verse on the spot. Play the block, repeat. That's all a young nigga learn from the streets. I'm from Flatbush, New York. There's not much you can get out of like street life, for me. You die or you go to jail. My dad is a street nigga for me. So he knows, he tries to like push me to do other things. The older heads on my block in general, like they don't let me get into too much things. Like I could chill outside with them, but when like certain things happen, they be like, all right, you gotta like cool out. As a kid, I was always smart in school and shit, so they like, you need to focus on school. But you know, your mind wanders. You get to a certain age, you go places without them, can't control everything you do. I was in the trenches with my soldiers, had to stay pulled up. They don't know the gang, give a fuck about what they told us. And they gon' try something cause they fully for the clout. A lot of people thought I said fully for the clout. No, I said fully for the clout, cause growing up in a Jamaican household for me, you do something stupid, they be like, I'm fully. So I took like 2 and 2 and I just put it together and made my own word. Just don't do no dumb shit. A lot of people do stupid things for clout, and it's gonna get you hurt. I know a couple niggas wanna do me for the clout. Anytime you try something for a fact, it's going south. Any sudden movements in the toolie coming out. There's this viral video that went around like 2015. I'm on Facebook a lot. It was some kid, he was like, where to my mobile? If you hot me, the toolie is really coming out. I mean, if you know, you know. And we gon' let it rain till these niggas learn their lesson. 8 p.m., that's the game time to apply the pressure. In Brooklyn, is like everyone goes through the phase of scamming. For me, is you gotta make money somehow. Either you jugging, robbing, got a job, or you scamming. 8 p.m. started as a scamming group, so it used to stand for Approved Mafia, but now we focus more on music now. And plus, my mom, when I was young, I made a promise to her I wouldn't join a gang, so I made my own little organized group type shit. Man, we ain't have a thing, opportunities with blessings. All we know is gunshots and a couple stretches. People love to hear stories. So once you can take those negative experiences and sing it in a way people would love to hear, then that's just music. And I came out strong. Music my only hope, this is where I belong. Being an artist was never really in my mind, but it kind of was, but it wasn't. Like growing up, I used to do everything. I used to draw, dance. Like before, for me, it was really dancing because I used to love Michael Jackson. As much as I loved the music, for me, it was more about his movements. And I used to really just sit in my own room all day on her laptop, just watching his videos and just clogging his movements, practicing every single thing he does. And I used to draw him every day. I used to every Halloween, I used to dress up as Michael. Like, that was just me. I'm talking to the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. I don't know what's next, I just keep on making songs and sing about my pain, cause I know they can relate to what I gotta say. There was this Italian artist, I think you pronounce his name Tadua. He's pretty big in Italy. He shared my stuff on his Instagram. He shared my song on his Instagram, and like all his fans is just coming like, who is this? It's fire. I'm like, wow, like I'm really like known internationally, and that shit crazy. You ain't never been outside, man, this shit ain't a game. All we wanted was to stride 8 p.m. in a gang. Not gang as in gang members, like gang banging, like, you know, like how Scooby used to be like, Scooby in a gang, like this is just our group of friends. But my niggas gon' ride for whatever we claim, nah. We're from the deuce to the 9mm. Used to spend hundreds, now we sliding 2-seaters. I'm only one stripe away from the Adidas. Now these op niggas keep asking for a feature. Lyrics in my Bible in the booth, I'm a preacher. Jamaicans, Christian go hand in hand. So my grandmother, as a kid, she would try to take me to church a lot, but it just wasn't for I do pray a lot. I do believe in God, but church, I just don't, it's just, nah, it's not for me. I think I could just worship in my crib. Fighting some demons, I shake them off like a seizure. Between hell and a cell, I choose neither. Shout out to my friends and my believers. Street life, the only thing that comes out of that, jail or death. And if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing in the streets, you're definitely not going to heaven. Feel me? So I'm not going to jail, I'm not going to hell. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for my fans for helping me. I was going down that path, but now I'm going the other way, feel me? Fork in the road. I don't think you know how it feels, nah, to live and go to school in the field, nah. I go to school in Crown Heights. Crown Heights, we refer to it as Crime Heights. It's crazy over there, feel me? Shootings left and right, just pure gang activity, and the neighborhood is just bad in total. So, yeah, where we call that the fields. And, but just the whole hood is the fields. So, we live and go to school in the fields, feel me? But I'ma stand tall, won't kneel, nah. It's only the survival of the real, nah. Smarts. You gotta have a brain. You gotta know what you should and should not do. Certain things you just don't get into, feel me? That's what I mean by real. You gotta be smart. But I gotta stay strong. This is where I belong. Even with school, even though my parents don't like it, they know I prioritize music over school. For me, music is over everything. Nothing is more important than just me just creating and just pushing out music for my fans to listen to. That's just my only set goal. Even if the money comes and the fame, for me, it's literally just about the music. Sold nickels and dimes because I had to. Got involved with crime because I had to. Give it all my time because I had to. To the top I gotta climb and I plan to. Retro, that's my God, kept my mans too. Retro was there from very, very start. He knew when I was making music, so it was Retro and my parents. My mom's, the first day I came home and I was playing my song out the speaker, she was like, "That's you? That's not you, stop lying." And I'm like, "That's me." And she's like, "Oh my God, you're actually good." Since that day, she's shown nothing but love and support. My dad as well. They actually just be sharing my songs and everything, showing anyone they could meet. Listen to my son. Yes, this is my son. We all gon' shine cause we had to. Man, this music shit is signed so we had to. Cause we had to. Fuck it cause we had to. My first sign, realizing that music can take me far, was my manager, JD. At first, I didn't even know who JD was. I went to a TJ concert to let me play my music. I waited in the rain, he came and lit, all of that. But I met the promoter, Scotty. I played my music for Scotty. Scotty loved it. He pointed me in the direction of JD. The whole time JD's just standing on the road waiting for TJ. I'm thinking he's just here with me, waiting online. I'm like, "Can you listen to this?" He's like, and then he's like, "You gotta put up the posters." So I'm like, I'm putting up the posters and he's listening to the music. He's like, "Where you from?" I'm like, "Brooklyn." He's like, "This is you?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "You don't hear a lot of people coming out of Brooklyn singing." He's an actor, so I don't know if it's genuine or not. But he's very persuasive, so he's like, "Yo, bro, you're different. You're gonna be a star, bro. You're gonna be a star." I'm just like, okay, fuck it. If JD said I'm gonna be a star, I'm gonna be a star. Look what he did with TJ. I started making music, and my voice changed. If you had heard me in October, my voice was just high as shit. And I guess I've just been exercising my vocal muscles so much. It just deepened, and then, puberty's beginning to hit.